Hello everyone, Specter here and welcome to Star Citizen. And this video is just answering some questions about the Perseus because when I try to answer the question, it turns out I typed a passage, like an essay, instead of answering questions. So it may be better for me to kind of make a video to talk about it instead of just simply type it. It would be better, even though this point, yes, a very good question by the way, this point, it was supposed to be one part of my future videos. I was writing a script of it. Yeah, writing script is kind of like a long period of time for me. I don't have much time to write scripts, so that's why. And even for this video, I use a point form, so maybe my way of talking is a little bit more boring. I hope you don't mind about it. I try to improve it, okay? So let's get to it first. Why fighters would be a threat to Perseus even though Perseus got a very heavy armor on board? Now, to answer this question, you need to understand the mechanic or the concept of light fighters, or if I address fighters as light fighters in my previous video, it would be a little bit misleading because I was trying to say fighters. It means that including heavy fighters. But anyway, even for light fighters can be a threat to Perseus. It's due to the game mechanic, because in Star Citizen, like a CIG concept, it's still a game, right? So it means that ships are not supposed to be like overpowered than the other ship. So it means that not the bigger one can deal with the smaller one, but instead the smaller one can also deal some damage to the bigger one. It would cause a threat to the bigger ones as well. So this is the game, okay? So just like rock, paper, scissors. Light fighters can deal damage to Perseus, and it could be deadly if they work well. Now, there's some reasons because, well, even for now, if you bring a ship, even for like a bigger ship, outside and do some bounty missions, when it was being hit, even though it's a small size of missiles or even ballistic rounds, you may receive a message after the combat. You may receive a message about like something imbalance. I forgot what does it say. Like the long line on top of it is in red. You can see it very clearly. Every time you try to accelerate your ship after the combat, then you will see it. So it means that your engine got damaged. Even though on screen it shows blue, but still, your engine got some damage because CIG tried to apply the HP pool to different parts of the ship component. So engine is one of them. I don't know about the other ships, but mainly because I fly the Taurus, the constellation Taurus, and I receive this message after combat quite often. So I think that's something they applied to the Taurus. I don't know, but anyway. Yes, engine is exposed outside of the ship, so it will be receive some damage due to combat, easier comparing to other ships' components. So, well, this is one of the cases that how lighter craft can cause damage to Perseus. Although engine, it seems like it's not a key element for like how Perseus can get away from the threat. But still, in the future, no one can guarantee that engine is not a key factor because, well, the way you damage the engine may be different time to time. I don't know. But for now, it may not be the case, but in the future, probably it matters. So this is number one. But number two is quite important because it's about like how players will stay inside of the ship, because in the future you probably cannot wear your undersuit inside of the ship that often. Like many people just wear undersuit and then inside of the ship and have a happy time for the whole day long. But not in the case for Star Citizen in the future when it's officially released or like some patches developed, because those undersuits need to be recharged, fill in air and other stuff. So it means that players and even NPC crews cannot wear undersuit for a long period of time. Now here comes a thing. There is something called airlock applied to, you got airlocks on ships, especially like bigger ships. So those airlock can be shot open if it cause some damage. I mean, is damaged by like some attack or something like that, because of the Taurus again. Because like when the time it was being hit by missiles, sometimes multiple missiles hit on the ship hull, the elevators, the cargo bay, and also those airlocks could be opened. Yeah, being blasted open, and it's not going to be functionable again. Now, this is quite crucial as you are not wearing undersuit inside of the ship. Of course, combat station you're supposed to, but I can't guarantee that things happen. You can't. So when the airlock opened, it means that some ship's compartments will be exposed into the vacuum of space, which will endanger your crew and yourself, who is staying inside of the ship. So this is quite critical, that how light fighter, like this is the way that how light fighters can cause damage to a heavier ship. It's not going to kill your ship, but it will cause damage and cause trouble to your ship. The second thing is that why fighters, this time fighters, not light fighters, I mean even including heavy fighters, can cause damage to, can be a threat to Perseus, is that most of the ships that armed with EMP devices would be some lighter craft. For example, the Sentinel, even for the Enfield Hawk, and like the Saber Comet. So these kind of ships, they can deal a lot of damage to Perseus or even a lot other larger vessels ship system, because, well, EMP, right? Once it goes through your shield, then like it will go for your ship's system and shut it down. So it means that when you were being hit by multiple of those EMP devices, then technically your ship will be dead in the water. And now, as I mentioned about in my previous video before, Perseus is not a very fast ship. It means that it cannot really escape from the fighters, like if they are surrounding the Perseus. So if it's under EMP fired quite often, then you may be like got some systems shut down and cannot escape anymore. Of course, you can just hire a ship engineer running back and forth instead of letting him or her to grab a broomstick and like kind of cleaning the floor or something like that. You got some extra crews on board, then you can ask them to running back and forth to fix the ship. But it may not work as perfect as you think, because that would be a lot of work to do if everything is being fried by EMP. So this is the second thing, that's why fighters can be a threat to Perseus. And the third thing is about interdiction. Now, even for now, in Star Citizen, in some space stations, especially for the mining space stations like Crew L1, like Her L1, something like that, when the authorities try to stop your ship and scan your ship, sometimes you will receive like a sign that you're being interdicted. It means that you can't really quantum travel to somewhere else. Now here comes the trouble, because even though like for now you only got, I believe, like a few ships like the Colors Blue and also like Mantis, the RSI Mantis, can interdict you from like quantum travel, but well, they are lighter craft and they are nimble, so if they try to approach you and they switch on that interdiction device, you can't really escape from them. Especially for the RSI Mantis, because that thing is, well, you can't say it's overpowered, because you may say 40 kilometers of diameter, it would be a little bit overpowered because you can't really escape from, I mean, bigger ship cannot escape from the interdiction radius or diameter. I don't know how to address it, but still, in the space is large and the route is quite wide, so you may not, even for now, you cannot really easily interdict anyone in the vacuum of space. So, well, if there is some interdiction ship hanging around, while the fighters approaching you, then it means that there would be very low chance for you to escape from the attacks. And when your ship is dead in the water, it means that the other heavier reinforcements of the enemy side will come in and finish up your ship. So that is the reason why fighters would be quite dangerous to Perseus. It's not because they can really kill Perseus, it's because what they can do to Perseus by damaging the ship's components and also the systems itself. So that's the reason why. All right. So, well, that's a good question. I hope that it will answer some of your questions. I know it's kind of rough because the whole video I just make up, like, I don't know, like I got a very few moments of time to kind of write the script. So yeah, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoy, and I shall see you guys next time then. Bye bye.